Today, I have the pleasure to introduce TJ on the talk show today. We are going to talk about a lot of really cool things, but really cool thing is we went through University of Toledo around the same time, and he played for UT. I'm going to let you share that story a little bit as well, but welcome on the show, man.
Thank you.
Super excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. Beautiful studio,
Appreciate that.
Beautiful show. So I'm excited to be here and get to know, of course, a little bit of how you've done things, but more obviously you're here to see and hear and want people to hear and see what we've been doing. And I'm super excited to be here, though, man. Just a good thing.
Absolutely. So the way that I like to start the show is to do a quick introduction of who TJ Fatini. Did I pronounce that right?
You did. Fatini. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Who's TJ Fatini? And then we'll delve into the conversation today from, you being an ex-NFL player turned to CEO and how you redefining the game after injury. Sure. Who is TJ Fatini? And let's get started there.
Let's get to it. Yeah. So who am I? One, I'm driven by faith and purpose.
I love it.
I'm driven by faith and purpose, and from a young boy, I've always had a very solid determination of what I felt was in my heart to become and to be and to do. And I've been fortunate enough to experience life. I don't take it for granted. I am grateful. I've come from, very strong background and strong people and family and associates, friendships. And so to continue to grow and elevate and, evolve in life takes every fiber and every being inside of you to be the best. Mm-hmm. And I love it. And I think for me, with coming up and growing up in Nigeria, born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, and coming to the States, going on about 11 and landing in Philadelphia. This is my first stop.
So I get that asked to me all the time. So I'm originally from Haiti, born and raised, and then moved to the States, and I went to a very cold place, Toledo, Ohio.
Sure.
So what was it like for you to move from Nigeria to Philly?
Yeah. So man, moving to Philly was one, of course, the cultural shock was different. I remember landing at JFK in New York, and it was snowing. And it was snowing out. First off, funniest thing was walking through the airport, took my shoe off on the flight to America. My shoes would not fit back on my feet.
That is hilarious.
So my older brother's like, yo, Tunji, what's going on? We got to walk through the airport. He's never been. We've never been. And we're walking through the airport, and the first cultural shock was I seen hot dog.
Hot dog?
Hot dog for sale in the airport. Like, hot dog? The only hot dog I know, and the only dog I know is dog of animal. What is a hot dog?
Do they burn the dog or something like that? What the heck is going on?
Hot dog. So we see hot dog, and I'm like, yo, this is different. Then we go all the way outside, come to figure out it's snowing. And so just off the jump, right, it was a different atmosphere, one that we all looked forward to so much. Our parents sacrificed so much to give us the opportunity to get to America. And, coming in and going to Philly was very much a competitive space.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't, at that time, my parents were still trying to figure out life. My old man was about 36 when he came to America.
36?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, the information they had and having to revamp and re-navigate and restart and then bring on, 7 kids at that.
7 kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I come from a house of, mainly boys, 5 brothers, 1 sister. And it was a house of, my brothers are men. They're men, They're very strong. They know what they want. They're competitive, and having a tender skin wasn't really part of the equation in my household.
Yeah,
but it was all love, and that was one thing that I can always say was that the love is so strong, and I've been blessed. I just came back from Toledo actually this past weekend.
Yeah,
spent some time with the family, but being able to see us all grow, and my parents having 13 grandchildren now, and none for me yet, but, part of our dream and goal is to have a family and be a man. So just overall of, who I am, I come from strong roots. determined mindset, faith, of course, and belief in your heart, your work, never giving up.
Yeah.
You know, and most importantly, enjoying the process of learning life. You know, take what you do seriously, but enjoy, you know, your growth. Enjoy the people in your life that's been blessed to come by. I always tell people, like, you know, I'm such a makeup of the people I've met in my life.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been very serious about my friendships and my relationships because they all have to be of value. And if I can't bring value to someone or they don't bring value to me, we have no need to associate.
Absolutely.
And, you know, considering all that, you know, you now see things that are not of your strength when you approach it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows for room for everyone to get better. So I'm always going to be the one to push the agenda to find ways to get better, to find ways to grow smarter, and most importantly, find ways to love the opportunity to do this life.
Absolutely. So I guess the very first question I have for you, man, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to take it one step back because I know this is probably very common for most people that are coming from abroad
Yeah.
to the U.S. What were that culture shock and what were your parents doing before they moved to the U.S.? I know some people like mostly like from Haitian culture or other places, like some of them are doctors and stuff like that moving to the States and stuff like that, and things are completely different. What was that culture like? Why did your parents decide to move from Nigeria to the U.S.?
First, my parents and my dad did not have to do it. And I strongly believe it's the same essence of you know, good is not good enough. And when you have kids like we had, that he has, or my parents have, I think you want to maximize the opportunity for them. And I can just only picture that being his mindset. You know, it's funny, I gave my old man a book, man, to just write in and really tell me a story. Obviously, I went through my sport world and kind of very individualized, you know, way of work and belief and doing all I had to do to get myself there. So I sometimes feel there was a lapse a little bit of just really knowing my true background, but outside of what you know. Mm-hmm. But I gave him a book and I said, you know, Dad, I want to hear your story. And so he's, you know, writing it out for me. But I know in his mind was, how do I give my children and ourselves on our family the best opportunity now? Because at that time, it could have been easily that we stayed back home in Nigeria, right? My father owned his own hospital back in Nigeria.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
He owned his own hospital. I mean, I think he built that probably by the time he was like 26. So he was doing this, you know, his thing. My mom had her own business. She was very much a merchant. She did home redesigns and things as that. She was kind of ahead of her curve back in Nigeria at that time.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had 7 young ones that are growing up in Nigeria. And Nigeria, as we know, is, you know, not full of the best things all the way around.
Yeah.
And if you're young and you get caught in that, you may just be a cycle. So we could have came at a later age. But for them to make that decision at that time and come to America and restart completely. And we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 9 of us, you know, in Philly. We had to figure it all out. He had to go back to school and he had to go get all his boards. He had to pass everything all over again and start literally from ground zero.
Yeah.
At a not so young age. And I watched, you know, my parents really put themselves and put that together. And I think, you know, I say this to the youth that I have a chance to mentor and guide. And I say, I come from a 2-parent household, but trust me, sometimes it felt like I was in a single-parent household.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find or fault any one of my parents for what they're doing, because at the end of the day, they're providing the opportunity for us to find a better life. They're providing the opportunity for us to look at life differently.
Absolutely.
Right? And, you know, exposure is just such an undervalued currency. And if the more you get to know and the more you get to see, the stronger you become. And so having that was a blessing for me, but it sometimes felt isolated at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? So just that shock of now being in Philly, going to public school, I was getting in trouble. I was very like, you know, I was a curious kid. Like I wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah.
And football wasn't of the fullest agenda at the time. It was now surviving and figuring out how guys are moving. And, you know, if someone's, you know, messing around, and then, I find myself messing around. I find myself getting into fights at school. I found myself trying to be the class clown and not understanding my uniqueness.
Absolutely.
Right? And, I floated around different groups. And, over time, you start to realize that wasn't necessarily too good, especially when I was now suspended. And they like, yeah, listen, Mom's like, I will send you back to Nigeria tomorrow. So you understand, you're going to go back home.
That is funny.
You will go back home tomorrow.
That is probably like one of the big threats that a lot of parents like from overseas do all of that, and some of them will do it.
I thought I was going home, and I grew up with my grandmother back home, and I loved her so dearly, and it was a thought in my mind like, man, I beg if you send me back home, at least I'll go back home. But
yeah.
No. You're here for a reason, and started now reshaping and reframing the mind. And fortunately, when we moved out of Philly, because it was just really getting, it was getting hectic, and my pops was able to get steps and advances and things of that nature, and just really watching it and having a chance to move to Perrysburg really changed my life and my course, because it allowed for me to see the greater and the better things that are out there. But you have to now have a set of different values to be able to have a chance to even obtain it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, was it football that brought you to Perrysburg, or was it like something entirely different that brought you there?
Well, so was my dad's opportunity to work in Toledo. Yeah, it was his opportunity to work in Toledo, and he was able to advance in his career. Worked in Toledo. Finally was able to build himself a house for us all. And, my dad made it, right? And him doing that and my parents making it was like, this is real life, right? This is real life. And I was already in sports. So I was in football already, getting a handle on it. My immediate older brother was also, in sports, doing his thing. And he was a standout athlete, and like a standout. Like, yeah, Art was good.
That's awesome.
Like real good. Yeah. School records, scholarships, the whole nine. And, life happens. And part of this whole thing, with having strong parents and having strong family, I was also able to see so much and learn so much from my immediate family that some people, it cost them so much outside of their realm to go learn these lessons and go learn failures and see how to bounce back. And I think that's a blessing that I had as well, was to see different rounds of different failures and different setbacks and lack of judgments, right? Just within mine, because we come from such a broad spectrum of guys and family and so much experience that we all had to figure this thing out.
Yeah. So what got you into football then?
Art, my immediate older brother. Yeah, I remember being in Nigeria. So my immediate older brother was here in America before I was with my parents.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and we stayed and, figured life with my grandparents, my uncles. And Art was in America already. I'll see trophies. You send a picture back home. He's got his toy cars, trophies. I'm like, yo, listen, I can't wait to get to America. I'm finna play football with my brother.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want to do. I just want to play football with my brother.
So he was a very big inspiration for you to get started on that.
Yeah, all day long.
Yeah. So what are some of the positions that you played when you were playing?
Oh, man. So I was running back. I love running back. I was DB, played safety for a little bit. And then right about sophomore year in high school was when I was like, I want to play defensive end. I might date myself, but Dwight Freeney was the defensive end for the Colts. And he was so fast, and he'll run right at you and hit you with a spin move every time it worked. Like, it's like, yo, I'm about $195 right now, 6'2". I'm like, I could have probably stuck to offense, but my brother was playing offense. So I said, you know what? He's killing it. He's that quarterback. He had like 40-something touchdowns his senior year, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was crazy.
That's awesome. What school did he play for?
He played at high school, Perrysburg.
Oh, really?
Played at high school, Perrysburg. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to let my brother kill the offense. I'm going to go on defense, and I'm just going to get sacks, turn the ball over, get the back to the offense so they can score some more points, because all he doing is scoring. That was literally my mindset. So I took the strategy to go on defense, to go ahead and get some weight and play defense. And then, my sophomore year, he was a senior. I was all state that sophomore year. He was all state that senior year. So it was like, this is what I love to do. I wanted to chase the quarterback. I wanted to chase the running backs. I wanted to make big plays, because defense was just such a momentum game. So whenever you make a big play on defense, like you feel the whole crowd, the whole team, everybody gets juiced up. So that was why I love to play defense and defensive end.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your journey now transitioning from playing for Perrysburg High School. By the way, we both went to the same college, which is awesome. Yeah. And you were there between 2009 and 2012. And I was there 2010 and 2014. So I probably went to many of the games that you played, which is awesome. So when we got introduced and I saw your pictures and I was like, wait a second, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
So talk to me about that transition from playing from Perrysburg to now being playing for the University of Toledo.
Yeah, Perrysburg was amazing, right? It was a small town, but loved football, and it was so supportive. And I got the opportunity, obviously, to get recruited into college. I got hurt after my sophomore year of football, going into my junior year of football. So I played basketball. And I really just enjoy basketball for the conditioning, the team morale. I love a team. You know, everything about me is like team. I love seeing camaraderie and just, man, I got this, you got that. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to go play basketball, stay in shape. I go stay in shape. I go for a layup. As soon as I went for a layup, I blew my knee out playing basketball.
Wow.
After my sophomore season in high school. And that was like the first real injury that I had. And that was like, whoa. I'm 16 years old. I'm like, yo, that was different. Like I had real bad Oscar slaughters. And I'd probably call it something different nowadays. But, you know, when your knee was pulling and you're growing and you're getting your growth spurt and you had this really tough knee pain and it was just random. I didn't think nothing of it. So I'm hurt now and I've got to recover back for football. And, you know, after that sophomore season, obviously my name was buzzing. People were knowing a little bit more about what I'm into, how I am. But I, you know, recovered and wasn't really ready fully for my junior year. Probably played around 75, 80%. Went out and still was all conference and things like that. But I'm still like, man, I might just slow myself up for the big shot of a bigger Division I school. And sure enough, I took the path to get healthy, get right. And that's when Toledo, Bowling Green, a lot of the MAC schools were still interested in what I had to offer and what I was bringing to the table. First, Bowling Green was like one of the major schools that was really like close to home, 10 minutes up the road. I used to go out there and hang out a little bit as a senior in high school. So I'm like, you know, maybe I might can go to BG. This might be the move. And sure enough, one of the coaching staff that was at Bowling Green they had a whole switching things like that and ended up at Toledo. Toledo coaching staff got let go. They brought in a whole new staff and Regine. They came in the house, recruited me. It's like, man, I'm going to be a Toledo Rocket.
TOL.
EDO.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Literally, man. And I ended up committing to Toledo. I finished my senior year of high school. Literally, man, I finished that day. I remember we had graduation on the 29th of May, if I'm not mistaken. That next very morning, I was already on campus at Toledo getting ready for the season.
That's
I didn't even hang out with my guys or nothing. I was ready to get to college. I wanted to be in college. I wanted to play big time football. I wanted to get some good education. I just wanted to start life and be a rounded person. I was ready to get in there.
Yeah. What was the experience like playing to that level in college, big MAC school? And what was that experience like?
Yeah. We came in at the regime that was really early on. Now Toledo in 09 Toledo is not the same Toledo at all, right? And we came in early where it was really, the experience was about how gritty are you going to be, right? Like, yeah, you're in Division I football, but you now got to turn up. You have to make these days count. You got to go to school. And so we had a coach that came in from a big time school, but was very much trying to really recreate and just make us into humans that you never see on before. Like I learned so many great lessons from how hard of a coach he was. Because of the one, he taught you what tenacity was, taught you what accountability was, right? Being dependable. There was just so many things when we go to class, sitting in the front 2 rows, and if you're 10 minutes early, you're late.
Wow.
Right? So if class starts at 10 o'clock and you're there at 9:51, you're late.
Wow.
So we had where we was so strict and determined to really change the culture of Toledo football program. And my class was the first to feel that. So right off the gate, it was like, man, this is college football. Like, this is serious now. They couldn't treat guys the way they treated us back in the day nowadays.
Yeah.
Them boys are different. They're different. But I loved it. And then, of course, getting out there, didn't redshirt, played as a true freshman. I missed all the snow foam parties. I missed all the college little joints and early in the game.
Yeah.
I was out there getting ready to go play today, go play Purdue, our first game.
Purdue, the first game. How was that like?
It was awesome, man. It was a good game. I had a good game out there. I had a good game. I was loving it. I love crowds. I love being able to get out there and just, you know what I mean? Mano a mano. I'm defensive end. I got a guard or a tackle coming at me. I'm gonna show you I'm strong. Like, you know, I love to compete. You know, I love to compete, and I was very much all for it. And it was a great year for us to really be able to redirect a couple things, and then start feeling more confident as the year ended. And then going into my sophomore campaign was when I was really ready to ball.
Yeah. So you were there until 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
So from there, you made it to the NFL.
Right.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that experience, like being in college and like, you know, now going into the big time?
Yeah. So college journey was really wild. I ended up going to my sophomore year. Then I made all conference, right? Did my thing. And then sure enough, going into my junior year, first 4 games in, I tear my elbow. So I tear my elbow, I'm hurt, I'm out for the rest of the season, was really starting to show up. Scouts was up and looking at us really like, man, you've got some potential. And then after coming back from that injury, because it was a season-ending injury, you have what they call junior day going into your senior year in college.
Yeah.
I was like 6'2", 245. I ran a 4.54. I was ready to go. Scouts is talking. They, hey, you're looking, you know, they can't say too much this time, but I'm understanding what's going on. Sure enough, senior season comes about. I'm ready to rock and roll. Senior year, I'm looking every bit about like I'm ready to go to the league. And in my mind, I was, of course, a lot of things in between this that I've learned so much now. And I look back on life, man, from just the energy and the intention that you got to put into every moment that you're at, right? Remove looking ahead too much. Keep your eye on the prize and the vision, but how intentful you have to be in this moments. And I think in college I was very much ready to get to the next level because I got the feel of what it could be like. I got the seeing what I could do, and you know, and I kind of I'm ready to get to this next step. Yeah. And sure enough, God had plans for me because He set me down 2 seasons in a row. My senior year, game 4, I get a call from an agent. They ain't supposed to call you at this time back in the day. I get a call, hey, you're looking like a 3rd round pick. We've got, you know, this, all you got to do is get down to Boca, get down to Florida. After the season, we'll get you ready to go. You'll be ready to get into these all-star games. Game 4, 2nd quarter, I blew my Achilles.
Wow.
The week before, I just spoke to the agent for the first time.
That is
telling
crazy.
me everything. I blew my Achilles the very next game. That was really crazy. I was a young senior, too. I was 17 my senior year, or going into my senior year, I was 17, so I turned 18 right about senior season started. So I was like a young boy, like on some like, dang, like I'm supposed to go to the NFL. I just tore my Achilles. I just spoke to this agent 6 days ago. What am I going to do? Like, what's going to happen? And what's crazy is I just came off a junior season that I just tore my elbow up for the rest of the season. So I was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And so
not getting playtime.
Not getting playtime. So in that spring year of junior year, I loaded up my classes. I did about 28 credits. I was honorable. I was honor roll, all MAC. I was everything for that. I was like, yo, I'm gonna finish as much schoolwork and get myself as wise and smart so I can limit my time my senior year to just go train in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I love it.
I was always
very smart.
I'm always trying to, you know, so I was like, all right, cool. Let's load up the schedule. I loaded up. I did everything. I did my rehab. I did my school. So senior year, all I do was play football. That senior season, I was gonna go train in Houston and be ready for the league. Blew my Achilles. And that was really life-changing for me, man, because now it became a point of how do you, one, redirect what you thought you had in mind. And I was young still to have that. And then this same kind of situation literally occurs again down in my lifetime. Yeah. And I would have never guessed it would have happened that way.
Yeah, I think you touched on something very powerful over here. Like, as you're going in the midst of those hard times, how do you deal with that change? Like where you were like, you see the future, you're doing all of that, and something like that major happen, that could be like life-changing. Like some people might give up and just like say, oh man, I'm not gonna even pursue some of these kind of things that I wanted to do. Yeah. But can you talk to me about like, that mindset, or what advice would you give to somebody listening to this right now that might be struggling with like career-ending injury?
You gotta remember your purpose. My purpose at that time, I was like, I always recall my whys. What are my whys? What am I doing what I'm doing for? It's kind of the same way when you have a conversation with a friend, a relationship, whatever it might be. You can talk to someone, you can answer their questions, but if you're not giving someone the why to do certain thing, the connection may never be had.
Yeah.
And we internally have to do that for ourselves. And I remember at that point, I had to literally go back to what is my why? And I came in there to be a standout football player, to get a good education. But my why was, I'm going to the NFL. I didn't come here to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no quitting. It wasn't even like, no, my reason why I'm here is to go to the NFL. And I set on it. And this path might derail. I might be delayed. I might be moved to the side. I might be forgotten about. But my why's never changed between me and myself that I'm looking in the mirror. Between me and God that I tell and I pray my blessings and I tell him where I want. I tell God where at this point, young in your faith, I'm telling God what I want. I'm going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? And the beauty, I think, also when we want to talk about faith is that God will allow for your desires to come, but what's really your heart placement?
Yeah.
And that's a different concept.
Yeah, that's a total, I'm glad that you touched on that. I'm a man of faith as well. And sometimes, I think they say like, typically there's like, 2 or 3 answers that God's give you, like a yes or no, or maybe not yet.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes he might put you in that journey to develop the men that he wants you to become. So,
and seriously.
Going through that journey and now relying on God, you've kind of learned so many different things that were very serving to you when you were in the NFL.
Yeah, no, 100%. Sitting on that vision of my why of being in the NFL was that I would not take no. I had a trainer at Toledo, right, that told me, dude, this is your second time getting hurt this past 2 years. Your knees swelling up on you multiple times. You should give it up. You should give it up. I remember literally sitting in the basketball arena and listening to this guy and looked at him like, you sound pretty bogus, but I hear you. You smile off and walk away, right? And I was determined to make it to an NFL team. And in that determination and in being only 18 in that year and really realizing that a flick of a finger, your whole thing can be disrupted.
Yes.
It gave me a different level of gratitude. I remember it was just about, my old man would say, if you're a star, you're always going to shine no matter where you go. No matter what you go through.
That's fire.
No matter what shakes, if you're a star, you're going to shine wherever you go. And so I took that as, man, none of this has all happened just because of the roll of a dice. It's happened because, one, I've worked and intentionally been about my business. So if I've got to go through the season is going to prepare me for where I'm going to go. And that's just how I took it. Started training, started rehabbing, taking it every day, eating the best I could, doing everything I can to get where I'm supposed to go. And now really trying to listen in and learn life in this space because there's got to be more in here for me if I'm not right where I'm supposed to be right now.
Yeah. Deep, man. I'm so glad that you're sharing that story. So now that you've had that injury, you had the talk with the scout, and he told you that you will be like, 3rd round pick. Can you talk to me about like that journey? A little bit about like, getting into the NFL.
Yeah. So it was a really wild journey for me. I recall, and this is part of, I think, just growing in faith over time. Literally the only option that I had came down to me. Either I was going to go play in Canada or I were going to sit out and hope for a random phone call or go play in the Arena Football League. And I don't know if you recall the Arena Football League back in the day. And man, I met some of my best friends out of that league. And I recall myself in college like, man, I'm going to the league. I don't know about no Canada. I don't know about no Arena League. Like, this is my plan. That my plan, if we're all walking around here with a whole lot of my plans, like, please put some buffer room in your my planning. Like, I mean, man, and I'm so sincere about it because I was like, yo, not that it was never a disrespect about no Arena League or no Canadian League. It was that my path was the NFL. Like, I don't, what? There's no way you're telling me I'm not going to, man, it literally came down to pro days happening. I ran in the pro day. I was not as fast. My Achilles was still just healing, right? I came back in 5.5 months for pro day.
Yeah.
So I wasn't all the way ready, but Kansas City gave me a shot. So KC brought me in. You know, they seen my track record. Okay, you know, you might can do something for us if you're healthy enough to look good and just happen to have health ready in 6 months to come into camp. So I went into KC. I went into camp. And after camp, nope, rookie mini camp, you're still lumping, you're not fully healthy, you got to go get ready. So in that time, I'm like, wow, I'm about to miss the season if I'm not, you know, what am I going to do? Do I go to Canada? Do I go to Arena League? What am I going to do? And sure enough, I get a call from, his name was Mike DeJulio, out of Portland at the time. Portland, Oregon was a new arena football team that just happened to be on the mend. Like, they just created a new team. I seen a couple of the players that they were putting together. I'm like, man, these are guys that I know about in college, you know? Some like Darren Thomas's, the guys that, you know, UNC, Deontay Page Moss. I'm like, yo, these are some names that I've seen that, okay, we might have some athletes and this might be worth a shot. Because at this point, I need film. I need to show I'm back active. I need to show like I've been working out, getting healthy. I need to show that I'm ready and good to go. And so God said that never would turn into your now. Pack your bags and go to Portland. And sure enough, I ended up going to Portland. You know, I lived in Portland for about 4 months. Didn't know that you can trade in the Arena Football League. While I was in Portland, it was just, okay, this is different. The Arena League didn't have what I expected at all to be when it comes to professional football.
Yeah.
Did not. It wasn't that kind of setup. And you had to get it out the mud for real. Like, it was really serious. And I'm like, my goodness, like, how are we going to do this? So I started Arena League in January, had a couple different scouting camps, and I would travel to go do this. I would be texting and sending emails to scouts. I mean, I went crazy about like, yo, this is my goal. Like,
this is the vision that you set.
Vision. It's gonna happen. It's just
never gonna give up.
I'm not giving up on this. And how would I know to give up on this? I don't even know how to say I'm not gonna continue chasing this path. But God planted me a seed to go to the Arena League. All right, keep watering my path right now. And that's one thing I think about faith that I learned over the time. You know, it's like you got to think of your faith and the God and the moral compass in your life is like a lantern, right? Like, it ain't gonna light up the whole entire room, but it'll light up that next step. You feel what I'm saying?
Feeling it.
It'll light up that next path. Like, and so I just kind of took that
one step at a time.
One step at a time. And so I end up going to Portland. I met one of my closest friends, and we're still boys to this day, almost 14 years now. From California, you know what I mean? Didn't ever know the guy. And it's like, I built something there where it was like, all right, bet, yo, our plan here, bro, is we going to the NFL. I don't know nothing else. I'm not here to stay. I don't have no other agenda. I'm finna compete against you. I'm gonna compete against you. I'm finna try to bust you. And I'm on my way. Like, I don't have no agenda. Like, that's it. Sure enough, I get a call that they wanted to trade for me to bring me down to Orlando and play for the Predators, the Orlando Predators. Like, you can trade in the Arena Football League?
I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's.
You can trade in the Arena Football League, and sure enough, my agent's like, yeah, this is a real thing. And Florida's got 3 NFL teams: Jaguars, Dolphins, the Bucs. I'm like, okay, you know, this can be a real thing. I can get in the space to where we get some eyes, right? Sure enough, in the middle of that season, I ended up going to this scouting combine that was held in Detroit, right?
In
Detroit. So I flew out of Portland in the middle of their season, which was probably like game 5. Low key, it's the first time they'll hear it. I made a little story up because I had to go to the scouting combine to get seen.
Mm-hmm.
I had to. Like, yo, I gotta get seen. They wanted me to show up. At the time, I didn't know how to say that to these guys because obviously I'm on y'all. I'm part of your company right now.
Yeah.
What does it sound like for me to just go try to find a different avenue?
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to take it, but Detroit home kind of slid it in together. I gotta go home, but I'm going to try to make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
So I ended up sliding there and came back to Portland. A week later, we get a call that I'm going to Orlando to get traded for. In Orlando, supposedly a scout for the Bucs saw me at this scouting camp that I went to in the middle of the season, who ended up becoming the GM actually of the Titans, Glenn Robson.
Oh, really? Oh.
Who then now saw me at the camp, but couldn't trace back to where it was. Toledo, okay, you're in the Arena League, all right. Like, you know, they didn't pay it no mind at the time, but then I ended up, I think, coming down, and this is how I think it happened. I ended up in Florida for the Predators, playing in the Predators, and then next thing you know, I get a call from the Bucs like 2 weeks later after moving to after moving to Orlando. That they want to bring me in for a workout. And so my agent and I'm like, yo, that's the plan. You got me. Okay, bet. We're in Florida now. We got a chance. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, then they played like one game for the Predators at the time. And they went to bring me in for a workout. So I'm like, yes, this is on the way. I go to the workout, rock star workout, did my thing. I'm ready to go. I'm in shape. I'm ready to go. Sign me today. They take me upstairs to the Bucs facility. He looks at me up and down. Man, I love what we saw, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sign you. These guys they just traded for you, and they're professionals too. So we can't take you away from them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I looked at him. I will retire today. like what? I will get out of the Arena League today. Like for y'all to sign me right now. So I was that close. I couldn't do it. It wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't time
yet.
So I go back to Orlando. I'm like, my goodness, what's going to be the deal? It's still in season. So now I had to finish the whole season in Orlando. Didn't hear a call from any team, from anybody, from nothing for the next 8 weeks. I'm like, man, what's it going to be? Now I'm a little shook up. Because
seeing that opportunity is so close. The things that you were working so hard for being like so close.
Right there, yo.
Yeah.
Right there. And we can't do it. They're professionals too. They traded for you. They let go of a valuable asset.
Yeah.
Right? They let go of their top quarterback for me to come down there.
Wow.
So it was like, we can't do that to them.
Yeah.
Respect. Thank you. I'm encouraged now. So I go back to Orlando. I'm ready to ball. We finished the season. We end up going to the conference championship game.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, we played it in Cleveland. So we played against the Cleveland Gladiators in Ohio. So family was able to come on out, was able to hang out, play the game that day, had a great game. We lost in the final ends, in the final minutes, balled out. But now I'm really sad. Like I'm tearing up because I have no idea what's next. The Arena League I said I wasn't going to was the only one that gave me a chance to get football, and I got close to the Bucs that much. I could feel it all. I'm in the facility. I'm like, I'm there. So is this really what it's going to be now? Like, that's it? I'm done? Do I now got to really, take on the next thing I said I was going to do, which is go to Canada? Right? So all these thoughts was running in my mind. And this is at the end of the game. And, you hugging family. You did so well. Thank you. But deep down, my chest is pounding like, what's going to be next, yo? And it was crazy because sure enough, I go to bed that night. We hung out. I was just like, bro, I don't know what's next. So I just chilled. Wake up in the morning to a missed call. It was some Shelton Cores of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers saying, hey, we have a plane and a flight ready for you. Come on in. You're getting in the training camp.
Boom.
The next morning.
The next morning. I couldn't make this up, bro. The next morning, yo. I'm like, there's no way.
I missed the call because I knew his name from when they first. I'm like, I missed the call. I'd have missed my chance. I missed my chance. My ass was up yesterday hanging out when I should have went to bed knowing I got a camp. I'm like, I missed the call. So I call him back. I'm like, yo, Q, like, yes, sir. He's like, yeah, we have a plane flight. He's like, can you get to the airport? I was like, I couldn't get to the airport. It was like 11. It was like 10:40 something. I'm like, no, I won't be able to get to the airport. I'll be able to get, is it possible? Can I still get on the next? No worries. All is well. We got you the next one. We'll rebook it. Go ahead and get yourself to the airport. Man, listen. I go to the ice tray machine in the middle of the hallway. I'm pushing all the ice. I'm dumping it in the bathtub. I run a cold tub real quick. I'm like, yo, it's time.
It's time.
It's time. It's time. Man, what
an incredible journey. And you are a man of faith, and that is something that you mentioned to me earlier before we started on the talk show, and I am too.
Yeah.
But like hearing your journey like gives me chills.
It's real, man.
Man, this is incredible, and showcasing like the faithfulness of God. Like, God knows the plan that He has for you. Like you might be telling Him, hey, like I want to do this, but like you might want to, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You might want it to be like right away, but He has His own plan. And now you have such an incredible story that has so much really great stuff on there. But
thank you.
Now that you got that call, you flew down and started working with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that journey and like the things that you like, did over time with the Bucks? And man, what is an incredible journey. Wow.
Appreciate it, man. It's all a testimony, and it's all a part of, till this day, life, learning it, right? I'm such a sponge to this thing because I'm a very absorbent person as well. Like I feel energies, I feel where I am, I know where, and people might say, oh man, you walk around, you don't never smile in your pics, or you always look like you got, I'm like.
You have a mission. You're focusing on the mission.
I'm just on the go. I'm just doing what life has given me. Just doing what life has given me, and I'm trying to move about it with the best heart at the same time. And in the Buccaneers situation for me coming in at that time, I was playing football, mind you, I told you, in the Bahrain League from January. It's now August, right? So I played football from January to August prior to going into an NFL training camp. In the NFL training camp, you don't pick up your socks and shoes and say, I'm going to go buy cleats from Dick's today and go out there and run.
Mm-hmm.
You will get dogged. It ain't none of that. Like, you have to be mentally prepared, physically prepared, right? Emotionally prepared to play in this game. And coming into that space, I was mentally prepared because I had the edge. I've been fighting for this. I'm ready. Like, you would never, ever have to question my mental when I put my mind into something. Physically, boy, you've played 8 months now, straight football, indoors on concrete. So my body was also a little torn down.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to go play on real grass, 100-yard field, right? 53 wide, 375-pound tackle. 4.4 speed everywhere.
Yeah.
We gotta go. And now it's time to compete. And so emotionally for me was, now how do I create this space to maximize my 3 weeks of training camp? Because I went into training camp with 3 weeks left. And how do I show, one, yes, I can do a standout job and still get a chance to make the final roster, or I could do a stand-up job and really just be like, okay, you know what? We don't know what we might do for you. You might just have to call it. So me, this was it. This was my Super Bowl. This was everything for me. And so sure enough, I went into camp, man, and I was on dog times. Like, they labeled me the Tasmanian Devil. Imagine that. I was out there. I didn't care about nothing. I was running. I was ready to tackle. I was ready to hit. You want a drill done? I'm here. This is it. And I did it consistently, and to the point where fourth game of the preseason, I started the fourth game of the preseason. I went out there, tried to hold my stuff. Like, hey, mind you, I'm running a whole different scheme. Most of these guys got days and years and months ahead of me just knowing what they were doing. But I had to figure it out on the fly. But like I said, this is everything I have. And played in that final preseason game. First kickoff, ran down there, tackle inside the 20. Boom, let's go. I'm here. Then sure enough, the game finishes. We're all ready to rock and roll. What's next? You don't know. Now, the NFL gets real dramatic around camp time, right? It gets real dramatic. The drama come out. What's it going to be? Who's going to make the team? Are they coming to knock on your door to give you your playbook, tell you got to go home? What is it going to be? Sure enough, I'm in the hotel trying to figure out what's next. I felt like I had a pretty solid showing. I was always on time. I was first in my class to make sure I'm trying my best to learn. I'm sitting in the front. I'm absorbing. Just trying to really show I was ready to go. And I didn't get no word back after training camp. If I was released, if I was signed.
And how long typically they give you those like answers? Like,
no, like
is it like
you will know the next morning.
The next morning. And how long did you go without knowing?
Almost a day and a half.
Wow.
I had no word. And I'm in the hotel. My dad was celebrating his actual birthday, 65th birthday, where the whole family, you know Nigerian style, the whole family go come. Everybody go party. They having a great time home. I'm in the Renaissance down here in Tampa, like, what's about to happen?
What's about, yeah.
No one's calling me. I'm even scared to call to find out if I made the team or not. I'm not about to call these guys. I don't know what's going on. Sure enough, I called the agent. I'm like, yo, I haven't heard anything in the past 24, 36 hours now. It's like, what's going on? Oh, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, sure enough, they forgot about me.
They forgot
about me.
Wow.
I don't know what that means. Long story short, my agent was like, well, you did your thing towards the end of that camp mode. They wanted to kind of hide you a little bit, right? But they didn't really put it out there if you was released on the waivers because you can get picked up on waivers.
Interesting.
So I'm like, this is not my agent's words. I don't know if that was actually the organization's words, obviously. Yeah. But I'm like, that's really odd. That's whatever. Like, man, if they was going to release me, they should just release me. I could have probably caught some, my film was still hot. My film was hot. And let 10 other ends and people get released. And, so I'm now like just heartbroken now again.
Yeah.
Because obviously you didn't make the team. Back to Orlando I go. And we're living in I don't even want to say where we was living at that time. It was tough.
Yeah.
$300-something a week.
Wow.
I became a security guard at Westgate's Resorts.
Wow.
Right? Like, I'm like, all right, I need to figure this out. Yeah, I got my college degree. Yeah, I just had my stink, but no, now it's like, I've tasted it. I know what it's like. I belong there. People respected me. I respected the people and I respect things. But I'm back here now in Orlando. Got a security guard shirt on. Man, what's this gonna be? And now I'm like in a crossroad trying to figure out what it was going to be. And in that moment, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work out and I'm gonna train. I got no money. Got nothing. Literally, I was hurting. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich type situation, bananas, like water gallon, go to work, try to get a little bit of this money that these people give you the opportunity to work so you can make something. So, all right, bet, I do this for 2 weeks, but I'm going back in this NFL. Somebody's about to call me. The Cowboys called me. They gave me a workout shot. Within 2 weeks, I lost almost 12 pounds because I ain't had nothing.
Wow.
They bring me in the training camp. They're like, to the practice or to the workout, they're like, you weigh 228. You're supposed to be 240. Back then, you ain't telling them I'm starving. I ain't got nothing going on. Like, go back home. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going back home.
Yep.
You're going back home. So I ended up back home, back in Orlando, and I'm like, this ain't right. I need to figure something out. I just had another workout, but because I don't have nothing, I can't make the team now. Look good, look fast, look strong, but you're 228. It's not happening. All right. So I get off of it, back to Orlando we go. And I recall just really now diving down deeper, like what is it going to be? Finally, a couple weeks passed at work, so I was able to give me a little check, go buy me some real groceries, make my Chipotle at home, right? Bet. Let's get back in this groove. I'm working out still. I'm doing all of this. And I recall, man, random afternoon, probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks goes by. Game 5 of the NFL season, Bucs called me back. They called me back like, hey, we want to bring you in. We like what we've seen, of course. With Teen Ninja. Come on in. And they brought me in. And when they brought me in, I remember on my way to Tampa, I'm in my head like I'm now like, oh no, y'all, I just had to suffer these past couple weeks and months. I'm hot, like I'm on some me against me. I owe this for myself, like. And sure enough, I went back and I spent just 3 weeks on the practice squad, and these guys was paying me to slow down. For real,
it was paying you to slow down.
It was paying me to slow down on practice squad because I was really on like, I got to make it off the scout team and I got to play in this NFL game. This is during the season. I got to play in this NFL game. I have to. This is everything. And, I got the call up. I remember Coach Lovey was our coach at the time, Coach Lovey Smith. And growing up, I was a big, Bears defensive fan. I was a fan of his defense. And so being able to play defense for Coach Lovey and his scheme and him finding me to be a good young man for real that knew football, that loved it, that wanted to play hard. And he gave me every opportunity to do so. And so sure enough, they called me up. They signed me to the active roster, played 12 games that season. And, man, everything was looking brighter and ready to rock and roll from there, for real. Started on all special teams, making plays on special teams, challenging guys on offense. I was third string towards the end of the season. Ended up going second string as a defensive end and a starter on all special teams. And that was all in 1 year. So I played football from January 1 year to January the next year.
Wow. So you played 12 games. Can you talk to me about your experience doing your first game? Because that journey that you went through to get there, like, talk to me, like, the first time that you stepped your foot on that field, how did that feel?
Man, that was amazing, man. That was everything. That was everything. And because you get called, like, it's just so much that goes into that life. Like, you get called now, oh, man, you're going from active roster. They take you upstairs. Your whole locker changes. Like, you're an active player now. You know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game. And coming from my journey, my road, like, of all of this to now being active was like, my God, like, this is real. And we jumped out there. It was against the Vikings. And I recall, it was a screenplay, my very first play. It was like a receiver screenplay. Rushed the quarterback, receiver screen, and threw it right over our head. So you turn around and you running right to the ball. And I remember just running so fast and hard and determined to the football that I'm going to lay so hard of a hit right now because this is my first chance. Man, it was like 3 guys. Boom, like all at once. Everybody just hit. I got up like, I'm in the league. Like, let's go. Like,
wow.
That was I still feel that because it was like one of those, like, you running dead on at a target and all you want is contact, of course, as a defensive guy. And I wanted every bit of that contact. I wanted to hit the receiver. If it was my own guys, I wanted friendly fire. I didn't care. We was going at it. And so just getting that first hit was like, I got up like, man, I'm in the lead. Like,
let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, this is an incredible story, and I feel like we need to, like, have a part 2 for so much greatness, and thank you for sharing your journey.
Thank you, man.
What would you say were your top lessons learned through that whole journey, like, from college football, from like going all around the country, like, and not going to Canada, and getting to the NFL? What are some of the lessons that you've learned?
Man, there's so many that I've learned, and I think, one that comes off my mind as you ask that question is, take value in patience.
Yeah,
take value in your vision, and take value in patience, man. Because I think patience is just such a word. Stay patient. Stay patient. But the value of that patience, there's lessons, there's hurdles, there's new discoveries, there's new life out of that word patience. And if we just take it for the word of alone and not really dive down into the value of that word, I think we miss out on the great lessons and the great opportunities that sit within the word patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So earlier you talked about a few different things that you've learned through that journey, core like transferable skills, things that have really shaped who you are right now as a CEO, now running your own business.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the transferable skills that you've learned that are now helping you run, becoming, the CEO that you are, redefining the game after injury?
Yeah. I think number one would be my people skills. I think people skills is as valuable as it gets in the business world. You have to know how to correlate or I guess articulate your vision to your staff and to your team, articulate your vision in your marketing messages, articulate your vision in how you take care of people. And, it's one of those things for me. I came in the game of the industry, the auto spa industry, off of a people game. I come from a people. So like I come from a big family. I come from a team mindset. It was never an individualistic kind of thing. Yes, your work, your hustle, and your determination comes from you as a person, but your success is based off of what is around you. And I think those valuable lessons of knowing that I might have 40 plays this game, and that one run that can get outside of me can be a detrimental play. So guess what? I got to hold the edge every time. I got to make sure that I'm the one playing my C gap every time, right? You just never know when it's going to be up to your turn. And if you fumble that, it will be highlighted. So therefore, now how I connect and how I correlate with things that I do in the business and, growing in our industry is about, man, how solid of a man can I be to my team? How clear can I be to the expectations of our clients? And most importantly, making sure that we're precise in our effort to making them know what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
And that's been one of the things that, I think I can truly correlate to just business and being a startup and growing our business now to 8.5 years, in the industry, and really, having a situation in our hand that it's about planting what makes us different and using that as an advantage to our strengths, but also an advantage to the entire industry itself, right? Let's keep growing. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep making it bigger and better. And that's really what I'm here for.
Absolutely. So you are the CEO of TFAT Auto Spa.
Yes.
What is your mission with that organization?
Yeah, TFAT's Auto Spa is a premium experience business. We're here to provide premium experience. We want to make sure that from the interactions from the start, that a client feels the passion, right, behind doing things right. And that's really one of the things that I know from football and from my background is about doing the littlest things correct. If you're going to run 40 yards, they expect us to run 41 yards, right? If it's third down and you're breathing heavy and you're tired, your team is dependent on you to be able to hold your own. And I grew a team out to really, make people love what they have, right? Our guys love the work they do. They're passionate. It's very rare you find many fields that people are passionate naturally off of just the cuff. Sports is one, and I think the car industry is very much one. These guys love work. They love to do it. So how could I create a culture that allow for them to maximize their love for this game and now use that maximization to impact our clients and the end user being our clients? So if I'm able to evolve what our guys are experiencing, there's no doubt about it that the clients and the customers will get anything short of great when they interact with us. So we're just there for the experience. We want to make sure that your stuff is taken care of the right way and that you're getting the best quality product and you're getting assured mindset and intention behind the work.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier today too, we were talking about like the different arms that you have underneath that brand. Yeah. Can you share a little bit about what some of the offers that you have and how do you help people?
Yeah, so we're a premium paint protection company. We do paint protection film, ceramic coating, window tinting, and also we have our detailing division where we go out with a 100% self-contained mobile truck. And what that is about is to just really door-to-door, elevate your experience and convenience. And we love to be able to, one, protect your car from the start. So when you have a newer car, you are protected with either paint protection film or ceramic coating. And that allows for, less wear and tear to affect the car. And once you do that, we now have the ecosystem behind it, which is to provide the maintenance for that protection. So therefore, you're not guessing or someone's guessing what to do with your car. Our entire team knows exactly what your car received, and we take care of it to the highest degree. So we've got really a way where we've created an ecosystem of pleasurable experiences. And we love to be able to exceed expectations, learn every day. And part of our values is that you got to stay intelligent, right? Keep finding ways to make things better and keep making it better for everybody that's a part of our company.
That's awesome. So you were in the NFL and now transitioning to owning a business.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me? What was that push? What was that? Why did you decide to get in the car industry?
Sure. So the industry was plagued by a lot of things that I think we can label off the top of our head, which was dishonesty. There was a lack of integrity in the auto industry. And came in this at the time while I was still in the NFL, didn't get to even really explain about getting injured and all that, and how that ended in the NFL, which is,
That's why I'm saying, like, we need the whole part two.
We need the whole part two.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I know we talked earlier about, us, like, being done at 1:30 and it's 1:25 right now. So, I wanted to touch a little bit about, you being the CEO to really bring that home with people. But I definitely think we need to talk about.
I got you. We will. And it was really about, in that phase, I started a youth camps. Right. And my youth camp were about football, but we were also very much focused on who you are as an individual, building you a successful ground, somewhere you can stand on that no matter what happens. If football is there or football isn't there, you're a young man with your mind right, with your heart intent fully correct. And now how do you have a framework to guide you to get you to what success looks like? And so
that's the legacy builder part. And I want to talk so much about this because I think this is so important because God put us on this earth, we have a path that we need to do to pursue. But at the end of the day is what impact are you leaving in the world?
Absolutely.
What are you utilizing the gifts that you've received to impact other people, to, hand that hand back down to the people and rise them up. So we definitely need to talk about that too.
Yeah, we will. And that's really just how my business started though, was that I felt that if I can impact young boys and girls in the way that I did with our camps, I'm almost positive that I can impact the people in this industry that are working at different companies, right, that I go to in my car at the time. And I hear them, and I would speak to guys that were washing cars, that were detailers, and I'll hear their strife. The owner hasn't paid me in X amount of time. I've been working and doing this for them, and nobody appreciates me. I'm working this and I've got these many dependents. And part of my servantry mind was that can be changed. These people have love for what they do, and you can still say and talk like that. So the back end of it is these owners, these leaders, they're not being that. They're not being that. And so we need to change that. We need to fix that. We need to make it that we put a stamp on this business that we're going to change what people feel inside of the company. And now, once you do that, the end users are going to feel every bit of happiness, every bit of that joy, every bit of that energy that is circulating in your company. And the work is the in-between. That is the byproduct of the great things that are being poured into these guys. And so I said, you know what? I wanted to start a company that had a team mindset that you can create a team out of. I was always washing my car, and I was injured at the time, and it was a form of therapy for me. So I take my car to a self-service car wash and plug in the headphones and just, God, what is next, right? And I really felt the tug that being a leader in our community, being one that is going to do what it is you say you're going to do, and being consistent was a trait and an attitude that needs to be passed along and passed on. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity I've had to be able to start my own company and do this, and the guys that have came through and the impact that we're making and the energy that we're serving, right? I tell them we're serving energy, guys.
Yes.
The process, the SOPs, the systems, yes, that was my job. To setting this opportunity up, to get us into this space, to where you're respected, that was my job. All those things are all set up. Now, how do you serve the people now that you're experiencing a better attitude and a better way forward in your life?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a constant mentorship. It's a constant deliverance. It's constant servantry. So we're just there to do our best for the people. And those that are our clients have been our clients for many years. They totally understand that mission. And we're only going to make that even stronger. And that's what I'm so excited about for our company.
Super awesome, man. Now that we're nearing the end of the talk show, I want to talk about your faith journey.
Yeah.
What role does faith played in the overall, like, NFL journey, college journey, and now business journey?
Yeah, I mean, like I think I started. I'm a man of faith and purpose, and they tie hand to hand. Every one of us is gifted. And that's the core competencies. And I have a youth club called the Gifted Legacy Club. And we really are selective. And what we do is we select out of the framework we teach gifted, which is faith and purpose, being God, intelligent and being intellectual. F is for financially understanding, right? Having financial literacy and also being faithful, right? T is for tenacity. E is for the execution part about it, because once you have the four things, that fifth of executing, it's going to come to you. You're going to execute. And D is being dependable. You got to be a dependable man. You got to be someone that people can count on. You're trustworthy. You say what you are and be what you are, and you're full of integrity. And, for me, it's like combining these values and living those values on a day-to-day basis. And coming on the flip side of that, it gives you all you need to learn about life and what yourself. And so for me, the faith just tied into every bit of it. I mean, how do I say it? Like, God is the realest thing ever. I'm a believer. And I feel as if I have a mission. And my mission is to, one, be as consistent as a human being as I can be, first off.
Yep.
Be as consistent of a human being as I can be. Can't be a hot and cold, wishy-washy. You get this person one day, you get a different. No, you. How consistent of a human being towards the goals are you? And I put that as a credit to my faith walk. It's like God expects and wants for us the best things out there.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge for a man is the mental toughness to stay consistent. And we have our laws, day in and day out. And it's a challenge. And I think just the challenge of a man alone keeps me close to my faith. It's not easy for us.
Yeah.
People are looking at you. They want you. They want to see you be. They just want to know what you are as a man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it takes a pride to understand what that role is and what it means to be connected to the Holy Spirit, to allow for your inside to truly deliver what God has for this world through you.
100%. Now, to transition to that, you've gone through the thick of it. You've had a lot of injuries, like a lot of injuries that could have been career ending.
Yeah.
You were bounced to a bunch of different things, but you kept the faith.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody watching this that might be going through a journey like that is filled up with obstacles, things that will kind of really kill their faith?
Yeah.
What advice would you give them as it relates to their faith journey as they are facing some of the big obstacles in their lives?
Yeah. I mean, man, it's never easy to stand your ground when you face adversity. And one of my coaches, mentioned to me, adversity is one that you're either going through, that you're about to go into, or that you just overcame, right? And adversity it's really wild when you look at it in that perspective, because it seems like nothing's ever just going to be shining stars and ever fulfillment and just bliss. And I think that's what I've noticed about life, is that it's in the middle moments there that you find the bliss. It's in the process that you find the enjoyment. And so when the things do get really rocky and really hard, and I'm going through challenges, and I go through multiple challenges, like the ones that I've shared today are just part of the natural challenges that I have gone through, but till this day, there's still challenges and still hurdles to cross over. And I think really the amount of faith that you have to develop is that you got to go back to your whys. And I say that so much because once you determine what your why is, that's where really your fuel of passion is. And so sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board and redetermine what your whys are when you get stabbed and get hit and get pushed and get re-navigated. How close am I to that initial why that I had, or do I have to redirect what my new whys are? And once you find out what your whys are, right, trust in that. That's that moral compass. That's that voice that you want it to be louder. You want to trust it. You want to believe in that first thought. You want to believe in that feeling inside of you. But you got to engineer it. You got to work it. It's a muscle. And the way to work that is to find the right things, is to absorb the right things. I always say to people all the time, don't listen to the chaos. Don't listen to the chaos. That's what it's supposed to. The chaos is there to stir you up and make you lose track of that tiny voice that's keeping you in your track. And you just got to roll your boat, man. You know what I mean? Like just stay in rowing your boat. Believing that the storm's going to go past. That you're like a sail, it's like a sailboat. The wind's hitting you, but you're just going forward. You might go sideways, but don't lose the fact that you're the captain of that boat, man. Right? You're the captain of that joint. At the end of the day, the wind's going to hit, the storm's going to rise. Like, we never know. We never know. And I had a chance as a young boy, man, to understand that, well, you just really never know.
Mm-hmm.
You just really never know. But there's that one stickler, which is one, if you're a believer, really believe in what's in your heart. Period, man. If you're a believer, believe in what's in your heart. And if you don't, and you're not a believer, what's that moral compass? What's that one thing that really sticks to your core? And find ways to learn about it. Find ways to find more understanding about it. Get uncomfortable, right? You can't be comfortable. So if we're going through adversity and it's not comfortable, it's okay, because there's a better deal behind this. There's a different door opening. And like I always know, and like I always say, if one door is closing, it's because another one's literally bound to open. Or it might just be open before you even look up.
Yeah. And that is so true to your journey. And I kind of see that over time. Every day, every time that you feel like something is like, oh my gosh, this is the end. This is the journey. And literally the following day, getting the call that you were like, man, God works on his own time. He doesn't
He does.
Work on our own time.
No.
So, man, it was an incredible time.
Yeah, man.
Chatting with you today. And I truly believe that this is just the beginning. You are destined for so much greatness, and you're gonna impact so many people with that story. That was incredible.
Thank you, man.
But before we end this talk show over here, for the people that would like to learn about TFAT Auto Spa, how can they learn of it, and how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, 100%. TFAT's Auto Spa. We're located here in Tampa. We have a website, obviously, where you can go on, you can get in contact with me, you can get in contact with our team. It's TFA, TS Auto Spa, one word, all one word. And we're also on Instagram, or on social media. Even if you're in the area, just put it in your Google chat, TFAT, it'll pop up. I love to connect with people. I want to make sure that, of course, I'm doing my part to be the light in this earth, but at the same time, I love to meet new people and keep motivated, right? Being in the room with you, I appreciate it. This is encouragement all the way, right? You're moving forward. You're doing great things. It's just, I love meeting new people, man. And I love growing and being smart, because your wisdom and your encouragement, your energy only can feed mine. And I, want that to be a vice versa situation. And so connect with us. Of course, your cars, they need our kind of love and they need our kind of touch. And I really mean that. Our team is so intentful and so passionate about the work, and take what they're trained so serious that nothing goes under, nothing's being skipped. No corners are being short, right? And that's just the NFL and the sport mindset, that we're going to compete against ourselves. And once we're delivering a project for a client, it's competition to make sure it's done correctly.
I love that.
Yeah.
There you have it. It was so awesome to have you on the show today, man. And we definitely need to schedule a part two. And I hope that you guys, get some encouragement from the show. And I guess my biggest takeaway is to never give up. Always try your hard. Work hard. Even if you have so many different obstacles that are maybe taking that dream away from you. keep the faith,
Keep it.
work hard,
Believe it.
and laser focus on what you want to achieve because of pursuing that why.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Super.
There you have it. Make sure you go to Instagram and website and follow this guy.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure to have
Pleasure
you, man.
to have, man. Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we're gonna end this show by saying TOL.
EDO.
TOL.
EDO.
Let's go, baby. It's fire.